whoa, Black Betty, bam-ba-lam, Black Betty had a child. Bam-ba-lam, the damn thing gone wild. Bam-ba-lam, and she worried out of mind. Bam-ba-lam, the damn thing gone blind. Bam-ba-lam, whoa, Black Betty, bam-ba-lam, whoa, Black Betty, bam-ba-lam. Whoa, Black Betty, bam-ba-lam, she really gets me high. Bam-ba-lam, you know that's no lie. Bam-ba-lam, and she's so rock steady. Bam-ba-lam, and she's always ready. Bam-ba-lam, whoa, Black Betty, bam-ba-lam, whoa, Black Betty, bam-ba-lam. Bam-ba-lam, whoa, Black Betty, bam-ba-lam, she's from Birmingham. Bam-ba-lam, way down in Alabama. Bam-ba-lam, man, she's taking that thing. Bam-ba-lam, she really makes me sing. Bam-ba-lam, whoa, Black Betty, bam-ba-lam, whoa, Black Betty, bam-ba-lam.
Hey everybody, good to see you all. Wow, we got quite a turnout here. We got hi Steve, hi Rob, hi Ian, hi Luke, hi Ollie, good to see you mate, hi Eric, great to see you, and of course, hi Mum. All right, hey Mum, hope you're on. No false starts on the chat this time. Every now and then YouTube just spits this live stream, so I'll select, on it goes, it establishes the stream, and YouTube just goes, after a few seconds, establish it again, and it's fine. So sometimes you'll see the chat come up, and it goes away. I have to delete it because it just won't work. But anyway, hi Davo, good to see you. So what have we got tonight? Well, we're going to have, of course, all the usual live cams. We're going to talk about some feedback from the brick video, which I'm still getting. and some interesting stats on that. Steve and I have been talking about during the week. We're going to talk a little bit about Twisted Visions, the Australia Day special, which is coming up. The topic's going to be chosen later this week. We're going to talk a little bit about, I promised I wouldn't, but we're going to talk about the stadium in Victoria Park. Because, they've released the official-ish designs now, and they're different. So it's worth looking at. And I'm knocking it. I'm not knocking it. I think it looks lovely. It really does. We're going to have a stadium. This is the one you want to have. Let's put the chat up for Mum, eh? Let's do it. There we go. Look at that. So, yeah, we'll have a look at that. Download their promo video if you haven't already seen it. I'm sure most of you would have. We're going to have a little look at an interesting structure in northwest Queensland. It's called the Fiery Creek Dome. We'll just have a quick look at it because I think I'll do a whole video on it. But it's just really interesting. We'll have a look at it. And it asks some questions, which are very hard to answer unless you're a multi-millionaire geologist running around the countryside. We're going to have a little look at tonight. I can never remember how to say this stupid thing. Let me just move it over. I wrote it down so I wouldn't forget it, and I've forgotten it. We're going to talk about Lessigang rings. Hi, Marty. Good to see you, mate. Pizza night. Yay. We had pizza here the other night. We don't often eat pizza because it's a bit carby for us. I have just got my stuff going everywhere here, folks. Hang on a minute. Windows 11's got me. That's it. I'm back. Steve has started doing that auto window thing. You just lose track of yourself. So that's what we're going to look at. Lessigang rings. And you have seen them. You probably didn't know their names. So we're going to have a look at that. And it's going to take us far-reaching. I'm talking out of this world. That'll be a bit of fun. So, what's up first? Well, let's have a look at the board because we can. Tokyo, looking absolutely amazing. 13 degrees, 7 o'clock at night. Tokyo walking in 13 degrees is just divine, like any city, pretty well. And there it is, a little train going across the bridge. The sky tree's all lit up in pink tonight, which is pretty cool, I think. Kansas Cup, Ali, if you're watching. Not matcha tonight. I'm trying to have one matcha a day. Some polyphenols are there. I think I need. You know what it's like. So there's Tokyo. Brisbane Live. Oh, they finally got the chat up, did they? Let me just fix that for you, folks. This site's quite slow to respond, so I have to go in. Do a little bit of manualing. There we go. That looked absolutely stunning at sunset this afternoon. There was beautiful, all of the beautiful browns and reds in the sky, and orange in the sky up here. It was beautiful. There we go. Brisbane Live. It's awesome. Abbey Road. Pissing down rain and freezing cold. Guarantee it. Just look at them. Just look at them. Tourists have gone away today. What a bunch of sooks. No one's running across the pedestrian crossing in the rain. There's Abbey Road. Belisha beacons and all. Paris. Paris is doing a lot better than London in the weather department at the moment. All those roofs last week were covered in snow, but they're back now. So there we go. The Tour de Eiffel is looking very nice. And all the other buildings in the background there. I've never been to Paris. I plan to go there one day, but, it's one of those things. And my favourite webcam. Notice the sun is just setting in Sydney now. Over the back here, you get a little faint bit of twilight left. Looking gorgeous. Purple sky. I love all of these reflections on the harbour. The colours from the neon signs in the city just look absolutely fantastic. And every time you look at it, it's different. It is very quickly becoming not one of my favourite cities in the world, but that is one of my favourite webcams. I like it. Hi, Adele. Hi, Dallas. Sorry, I looked away. Bonnie, g'day. I looked away. It happens. And Hakodate. This place is frozen, I'll tell you. It's just completely covered in snow. That stuff in front of us there is probably also snow happening down in the town. It's just looking real cold, because it is. They don't give you the temperature on that cam, which is a bit of a bummer. Earthquakes. Yep, we had earthquakes. South Australia, a few little ones over here in Western Australia. The southeast seismic zone is getting active again. That Northern Territory one just keeps going off every week, same one. I wonder if it's a man-made one, a mining thing or something. I don't think so. And this one right on the border, there's a few big mines right there on that border. And just poking through over here, this is not news. That whole area is just getting smashed. The Kamchatka Peninsula is going off again up in the northern hemisphere. We'll have a quick look at that. As you can see, there's a few there over in the Ring of Fire. Nothing new there. The Philippine Trench is going off again, which is not so good because there's millions of people live there around this area. So, yeah, that's not so good. By the way, that's the Wallace line through there. You've heard of the Wallace line? Runs through there and runs right through. Can't see exactly there. I think it's about here next to Bali. This is where all of the Australian-looking animals are on this side, and all of the non-Australian-looking animals are over here. You know, rhinos and big cats and lions, and nothing over here. Doesn't exist. There you go. It's a whole new story. Let's go further up. So there. And that red one wasn't there this afternoon when I looked at this. So this northern end of the Pacific subduction zone is going off. Really going off. So let's hope it keeps going off and it doesn't build into some enormous, how big is that one? Gee, 6.3. That's a big earthquake. 16 kilometers down. No one there, of course, but even so, that's a big earthquake. You don't want to be near that. Rightio. I've got a new chart for you tonight, peeps. Hi, Nathan. I think I saw you before. Sorry, mate. Yeah, they do it all the time, man. They do it all the time, that Abbey Road thing. I must admit, I did it. I'm sure everyone's starting to go. So what do we got tonight? Well, I thought we'd do the whole of Australia. The colours are the same. So anywhere where you see red or orange, you can have a cyclone. And that cyan, we'll call it, colour? Absolutely. So the one that just rolled through North Queensland rolled through here. And we'll have a look in a minute, but I guarantee you there is another low forming somewhere in here, and it'll spin up, and it can come right there. It could go to Sydney if it really wanted to. And they have had cyclones in Sydney, northern New South Wales. They've had cyclones that have tracked right over to Auckland. Now, there you go. Anyway, that's the temperature chart, and it's changing. Summer, she's here. There's no question of that. And isobars. So, somewhat the remains of that one that just came in up north. It's all merged together now. But look at all this. There's low pressure absolutely everywhere out here. This could spin off a tropical low at any time, and probably will, because this is the time of year. This is the season. So there we go. I wouldn't put your tarps away just yet, Steve. You never know. Good carbs, bad carbs. Yeah. I think that is amazing. V8. European V8, I'd say. Doesn't look American. I can't read the name. Doesn't look American, does it? Probably Italian or something. Whole bunch of side draft, or top draft in this case, carbies. And some pretty yummy little carbies up there as well. Yeah, well, it takes a long time, Brad, for the floodwater to come down those rivers. It can take weeks. Absolutely weeks. So much so that in the old days, they didn't even know there'd been a cyclone. And yet all of a sudden, the whole place was flooded. Not called the Channel Country for no reason. So this is the new... Oh, hang on. Sorry, I'll mute this. It's just all music and garbage. So this is your new stadium. This is what you're getting in Victoria Park, or computer model of it. It'll loop through here. It looks absolutely fantastic. I'd be just a shithead to say it doesn't. It does. But let's just have a bit of a butt going on here. First of all, let's look at the location. I'm just going to take that back a bit. First of all, it'd be nice to know, Steve, what size spanner fits this thing, because it looks like they modelled it off off a push bike fork retaining nut. But anyway, so we have two bridges going across the ICB. Now that one I think is already there, and the Barrabin water holes are down in here. This is a new one going in. And so this thing is a lot closer to the ICB than we expected. We thought it would be over here, but it isn't. It's right down here at the front. And if you look at the rest of their little renderings, which are here, I think it looks lovely. And the more I look at it, the more I just think it's too small. Now, I think that's a bit cruel. Because, I know this is the Brisbane Lions and they're watching it up on the screen here, but shouldn't they be in the stadium? I don't know. Maybe that's an away game. Playing cricket there with the green and gold. Not sure of the scale of that. Those cricketers look a bit small, but anyway. Concerts with 360 rock stars in the round. Must be good for the hospital. And there it is there. So you can see its location where they've put it. I'd say Gilchrist Avenue basically is the drive across the front here, or it's been destroyed by it or something, or tunnelled under it, who knows. And there it is. And that, obviously the roof lights up like a great big sun ring. Maybe. So that's what we're getting for our $2.7 billion. Well, no, Nathan, sorry, they're actually building a train station. I don't know if any of you know where the train wash is. It's not really much of a public thing, but you see it all the time. People just don't realise it. Let's go back here where we can see it. So they're building a station right here, just here, because up here you've got all the aquatic centres, and that's not shown on this map. There's a big aquatic building going here, which is not shown, but they're building a train station here. And like one train station, probably called Stadium, I don't know. There is a bus tunnel here, and they have now opened up back entrances to the bus tunnel. So you can, with those new M2s, the blunderbusses, you can whack some people in those things. If you put them into concert configuration, they can hold 140 people. So prefab, eh? We'll get it done in China and get it posted over a Temu train station. Now, speaking of Temu train stations, I go through King George Square probably every day. Not really, but mostly every day. I also use the Royal Women's Hospital, the RBH, pretty much every day. Now, this government, because it's this government that's doing it, the previous one was probably not much better. The escalators, on the up escalators on platform 2 in King George Square, have been stuffed since the beginning of December. Still stuffed now. They were stripped down 6 months ago. They were out of service for about 3 weeks. All new shit put in there. Everything's awesome. And now they're stuffed. And they're still stuffed. So there are elderly people down there because the lift is quite offset from that. It's not obvious where the lift is. Elderly people wandering around lost, trying to walk upstairs because they can't find the elevators because they're stuffed. Now, the Royal Brisbane Hospital, at the entrance to you can see it here. Where are we? Oh, it's just out of shot. The main entrance to the Royal Brisbane Hospital, where emergency is, and when you drive in, you go around that little roundabouty thing and you go up and you get in the main entrance. If you walk into the main entrance, it's about, I don't know, 6-7 metres, maybe 5 metres off the road. And there is a set of steps and there is an elevator. And over the road, there is a lot of accommodation used by people who are undergoing serious treatments that you see them walking around. They're not, they're not doing too well. That elevator's been broken for 6 months. 6 months. The main entrance to a place where non-ambulant people come and go from. And you are up Schitt's Creek if you want to get in there without either walking to the top of the hill or walking right around and walking right up to the hospital. Just saying. Someone, and this is not the government's fault, really, there's some idiot pen pusher in there that's not doing their job. But whoever is paying the contracts for these elevator and escalator repairs, they must have just got the cheap one. That's all I can say. Because the escalators are fine. They're fine. Yeah, they're good quality. They're not some no-name brand. You see the guys there with all the names on, working on them. It's just shit. Someone's doing it wrong, man. So there we go. Yeah, the RBH is, Brad, the RBH emergency access is not intuitive. That's for sure. Nor is bloody Chermside. Chermside's got an absolutely brilliant emergency service. If you can find it. But anyway, I found it. So what are we going to look at next? Just check up, see if I miss any. It's been modelled after an old woman's borer ring. Thank you, Dallas. I just got that image in my head. It's just a bit small. I honestly think for 2.7 billion, what do we spend another $500 million and we get something that's going to last us 50 years instead of 20 years? I probably don't think correctly. It's all right. We can't do that and pump sand all over Bribie Island and bury all the turtles' nests and have the greenies go up and dig them all out and move them up the beach so the bulldozers don't run them over. Anyway, it's good that the turtles are coming back there, though. But there's a massive lip. If you look at Droner's video, the last video, the waves have cut about a 2-metre vertical cliff on the outside because they're hitting. And it's a very tall structure they've built. And, yeah, turtles can't climb up that. Anyway, who cares? At least the boat club's got exit. Their boats are safe now. That's the main thing. What are we going to look at next, peeps? Well, we're going to look at Queensland Globe. Marty, Queensland Globe Interactive. Who'd have thought you could do that? And we just have a quick look at a structure that's really, really amazing. I think it's amazing anyway. I'm going to put that over there so I can interact somewhere else. So this is north of Mount Isa. So we're going to just zoomy-doomy down here. By the way, Marty, to get this thing to fit on the screen, you have to manually set the pixels horizontal and vertically. It does not pick it automatically at all. It just defaults to 800 by 800, and all you'd see on this screen is the word Northern Territory. So you have to zoom around a bit. But it does work. So here's Mount Isa. Now this area here is called the Mount Isa Rift Zone, and you'll see why. This is a huge tectonic thing with lots of minerals. It's faulted to pieces. I'm going to turn the faults on for you. You'll see what I mean. But there's something unusual up here. Well, there's a lot of unusual things if you've ever been to Mount Isa. Some of them live there. Can you see that round thing there? There's two round things. One of them is an illusion. The other one is real. So let's just go in and look a bit closer. So, I mean, circular things. We're going to talk about circular things in nature tonight. Circular things in nature are, very circular things are a bit unusual. So I see this and I think impact crater, obviously. And it may yet be an impact crater. The jury is out. So this thing is about 30 kilometres from ring to ring on the outside, and the inner ring's about 10 kilometres. There's a moat around here, and I'll show you that in a minute because Interactive Man here is going to turn on. This is brave. This is so brave to do this live. We're going to turn on the LiDAR. And as you can see, it's much more visible in the LiDAR rendering. Now, this creek running out of here, by the way, is called Fiery Creek. And that's what this is called. It's called the Fiery Creek Dome Structure. And it's been drilled for minerals, mainly copper. 10 kilometres should be a big run around, Steve, for a borer ring. There's all sorts of minerals around it, as you can see. There's just minerals everywhere around this place. But there's a few sort of clues that this might actually be an impact structure. We'll have a look at the, in the geoscientific area here, we go down to geophysics, geophysical imagery. I said I'd show you guys how to use Queensland Globe one day. If we look at this, this is some of the magnetic imagery. I'll just put that away. This thing has actually been hit. It looks like it's been hit because the geology inside here is mostly sedimentary at the moment. There's a little bit of pieces of basalt around here, mostly sedimentary, which means it's been filled in at some stage. Some of it's really old. Some is what they call Paleoproterozoic. Now, they're big words. Paleo means old, proto means before, and zoic means life. So this has been around a long time, probably 1 billion years in places. It's a very old part of the world. That rock that's been used in the Queen Street Mall comes from just down from here. They're very old bits of world. Yeah, crazy stuff. So it's something that I'm interested in, and I will probably do more with it. I'll show you an RTP1, which is probably more interesting. No, not that one. That one. That one. That's the black and white one. As you can see, the structure is even more. You can see the outer ring. The outer ring around here, it's even more obvious when you look at it in magnetics. So yeah, I want to do a video on this. I'll just downloaded a heap of scientific papers this afternoon, and I lose the will to live. Yeah, it could be volcanic. There's one in Africa that's volcanic, called the Eye of the Sahara. It damn looks like an impact crater, but it isn't. It's a volcanic thing. The Richard structure or something like that. It's over in Mauritania. It's huge. But I saw this thing and I went, man, oh man, that is so interesting. And I'm sure you guys would find it interesting too. So that's why I put it to you. I will show you the geology because, you know, so you can see how to do it. 1 in 1,000 will give you the best look. Don't use solid geology. It's nothing. Surface geology here. Detailed surface geology. And as you can see, the whole place looks like Rocky Road. This will take a while to come up. Did I just turn that off? Maybe I did. Yeah, well, Nice is just, oh, that's the extent. What a no, I ticked the wrong box. That's the box we wanted to tick. There. So there's the geology. I won't go into all that because there's a lot there, but a lot of this is in the middle is very old sedimentary. But there's definitely a structure here. It's not a fluke. And there's a moat around here. This is some softer rock that's been eroded away by Fiery Creek. And yeah, I think it's worth having a look at. Absolutely. Some of that green stuff is actually volcanic, but it's much later, much newer, I should say. So there we go. What else was I going to show you here? That was about it, really. There's a bit of uranium in there too. I've done the radioisotopes. So there we go. The Fiery Creek dome structure. Cool, eh? So what are we going to look at now? Well, talking about round things, we're going to look at these things. That is a natural boulder. That is somewhere in the United States that I forgot to write the name down. It's not really important. And we talked about this briefly last week. It's another subject to cover. But it's difficult to imagine that something that spherical could be natural. But it is. Oh, hi, Aaron. Sorry, I don't look up at the chat too often. I should, but I don't. And yeah, you'd think that had been carved by man or aliens, obviously, or some god or something like that. But no, it's a natural process. They're not completely uncommon in the world, but they're not common either. This is, I think, in the United States, and they've fallen out of that. If you look up on that cliff behind that, you can see they've just fallen out of this cliff in certain layers where they've happened. They've rolled down here and they've stopped there. There's quite a few. If you watch Myron Cook, which we spoke about last week, he's an awesome YouTube geology guy. He's done a video on this exact situation. It's aliens for sure. Has to be. And this is in New Zealand. This is the Moriaki boulders down south. I've been to this place. It's like otherworldly if you get the tide right, which this guy did. Otherwise, it's just a bunch of concrete domes sticking out of the water. But yeah, these are amazing. There's lots of photography of these things. If you haven't been there, if you go to the South Island, New Zealand, you're over near Dunedin. It's north of Dunedin, between Dunedin and Christchurch. Town starts with T. Name went out of my head as I tried to say it, but anyway, it's a really nice place. Could be Utah. We have got some Utah coming up because Utah is awesome. The big surprise on my trip to the United States, apart from how much I miss my son, was how awesome southern Utah was, Moab and all those places down there. I was absolutely shocked. I thought they dreamt the road running the Coyote up. They didn't. They modelled it on southern Utah. All those shapes you see in those Roadrunner cartoons exist. All of them. Just dumb. Lovely thing. This is in Bosnia. And there's a few of these. This is a particularly big one. It's in soil now, but it was obviously not when it was formed. It was formed in probably with sandstone. That was formed in sandstone. And I'll show you how. But yeah, this was, of course, aliens. The aliens, yeah, they came here and they made these big boulders to teach us how to make boulders. No, they didn't. Now, there's an exotic spot for you. This is Brendale. We did talk briefly about this last week. This is the retaining wall out in front of Bunnings. And if you want to see these, I've got to look it up again. Yeah. These are rings being formed. I'll show you what they are in a minute. There's one there where they've smacked this boulder through. There's one right there being formed. Now, that one didn't proceed to become a spherical object, but it's the same process. The same process that causes it. This is also the Bunnings retaining wall at Strathpine. I was out there. I did shoot video of it. I've archived it off my machine. I can't find it. So this is off Google Earth. You go to Google Earth and see this. Here's a beauty here being formed. They smacked the rock in half, of course, and done the wall thing. There's another one there being formed. These are not on the surface. These are three-dimensional structures inside the rock. They're not, we're just seeing a slice through it. At Bunnings. So this is what they are. A particularly good one. Now, somewhere in the middle here, there is a nucleus. And that nucleus can be, it can be something that alters the energy point that iron will fall out of minerals. And it has to have mineral-rich fluids in it. So before it became a rock, while it was still just goopy sand, this thing got soaked in iron-rich water. And something in here started this process. And it's a chain reaction. And it moves out in 3 dimensions. It's not always perfectly spherical. It can be all sorts of shapes because it depends on the saturation of the liquids in the rock as to which way it goes. And if there are other minerals in the rock that can affect that process, that'll distort it. You'll get oblong ones, or you can get cracks and long, thin things, all sorts of stuff. We'll see that in a bit. So sometimes it's just a crystal of iron pyrites. Just a crystal is all it takes, and it just starts the process and out it goes. These rings are also used in chemistry. You'll see them in chemistry all the time, but that's not to do with rocks. I didn't bother putting in that stuff, but you see it all over the place. You see those demonstrations where these things start doing rings on a petri dish and they just keep going. It's the same thing. So out they go. This is iron precipitating in the sandstone, or in the sand mix, in this particular one anyway. And it's usually always iron. I've not seen anything that isn't iron. Here's another one. And you just can't see, unfortunately, the little nucleus in here, but you can see there was iron here, then there was not iron, then there was more iron, and the whole thing just kept going out, and it just escalates and runs away till it runs out of rock or runs out of iron or runs out of water. Can't happen in dry stone. Has to be wet. So there's that. Yeah, it is. Absolutely. Aaron, it's a monopole field. It is 3D. We're looking at a slice. As you would do in a monopole antenna, you'd have a vertical slice, a horizontal slice, which on a monopole looks the same. On a dipole it does, but on a monopole it most certainly does. And this is in southern Utah. For those who mentioned Utah, sorry, I wasn't paying attention. This is in southern Utah. These are also the same rings, just on a much, much larger scale. A huge scale. I mean, to give you, that's a tree up there. This is huge. And it's just eroded out. And yeah, there are bands, but the banding in this particular case, because it goes around, it goes right around. These are rings formed that precipitated out in the iron-rich fluids that were in the sandstone when it was forming. Here's another one. This one's in Svalbard, I think. There's two of them here. Obviously one in the foreground, one in the background. I mean, ancient people came across these things. They're going to look for supernatural reasons for them to be there because there's just no other way to explain it if you don't understand that stuff. But there you go. Snow and ice will move them along. The ice will pick them up, move them in winter, whatever. It's not the only way you can make spherical boulders. We'll have a quick look at that in a minute. This one's in Kyrgyzstan. I can never say that. I think it's Kazakhstan, this one. It just exposes the concentric and the three-dimensional nature of this deposition in these rocks. And this one's actually breaking on lines that are somewhat crystalline as well. So there we go. If you saw that as an ancient person, you'd go for the aliens straight away. For sure. This is actually in New Zealand. This is just up the beach. This is a Moriaki boulder that's just fallen out of the cliff. They're in the cliffs all along here, and they just fall out, and they erode out, and away they go. And the ocean does a pretty good job of milling them back into sand from sandstone. It's not just made out of sand. It also turns back into sand. I think they're amazing. Now, here's one that isn't formed by Lesagung. Why do I say gung? I do it all the time. Lesagung rings. These are the Devil's Marbles. Devil's Marbles up in just south of Tennant Creek. I think Svalbard's a bit cold up there. There's certainly these are made of granite. These are not formed by any precipitation things. This is onion skin exfoliation. If you've been down to Gurui National Park, you've seen the big ball mountains down there. It's the same process on a different scale and over a much larger time. So these would have been a solid mass of granite that had cracks in it. They eroded down into individual boulders, and the heat cold has just onion skin eroded them. You can see the flakes coming off them here. It's just the way the stresses end up. And this one's cracked clean in half. Oh, I did that. I was up there. I was all annoyed. Gave it a good one. Down it went. There's plenty of others up there. There's quite a bit of this around Australia. This is just one that's quite popular. The Devil's Marbles. Yeah, well, Brad, those Yorks for Fossil Guys, I follow them as well. I love that thing. And that formation they get around the ammonites and even the little, you see the little tiny seashells in the middle. It's the same thing. That's why a lot of those fossils they pull out are actually made out of iron pyrites. The animal has been completely replaced with iron pyrites, the goldy looking things. Do they find many tribalites up there? I'm not sure if they do. They find a lot of ammonites. Man, they sure do. I have an ammonite. I bought one for my wife. She said she wanted one. She wanted me to go and find her one. So I found her one on Amazon. That was great. It looks good. It's a good little ammonite. It's tiny. Think about that big. It's the oldest thing. Well, no, it's not the oldest thing you'll ever touch. The oldest thing you'll ever touch is this. My daughter bought me this. That's a meteorite. It's an iron, a slice of an iron meteorite. And yeah, that's probably the oldest thing anyone's ever touched. You can't touch that. It's in a plastic box. You can't touch this. Now, here's a nice little boulder, and some inconsiderate person has punched a hole in the side of it with a laser because this is on Mars. And one of the rovers punched a hole in the side of it to see what it was made out of with its little laser. And this is about 1 centimetre round for scale. And the rock it's sitting on it looks like sandstone to me. And we know this because we found them still in the rock on. This is also on Mars. Is it on Mars? Yeah, it is on Mars. That does look like slime to me. It isn't. This is on Mars. Here they are eroding out. We just haven't come out yet. Don't know what all this stuff is. Don't know. The photography of Mars gets a bit weird sometimes. The colours are wrong. This is also on Mars. These were known as blueberries, and they're all these little spheroid rocks, and you can see they're still in the rock mass here. They just haven't eroded out. That one's nearly out. This one's just being shown. They're all around here, and they're forming inside these rocks by the same process, they think. And they just erode out, then they just get blown away and torn up. So there we go, peeps. That's Lessegung rings, round boulders. All that is round is not Lessegung, but a lot of it is. If it's sedimentary, it most certainly is. Because sedimentary rocks don't onion skin. They're not hard enough. They just fall to bits. Very dangerous if you're climbing on any of the onion skin stuff, because you drive something into it and hang off it, you could peel 6 feet of that stuff off and you're just gone. And it's not light. It's going to come down on your mate down below. I don't care how good a helmet he's got. Not going to do him any good at all. Let's have a talk about Twisted Visions. Any questions on Lessegung rings? Nope, good. Let's move on. I'll wait. Let's put the chat back up. Otherwise, I'll get a phone call. Bang, ba-bang, bang, bang. Where's the chat? There it is. All right. Yeah. Tribalites are weird. If you ever look at the history of those things, I won't get into it now, but they disappeared like that. They were everywhere for 500 million years, and they just vanished. Another one of those big mass extinction events on the Earth's history. So what we'll talk about now for the creators amongst you is Twisted Visions. So I just thought I'd mention it again, peeps. The choosing night is this Thursday, 8 o'clock. There'll be a live stream. You're all welcome, but it's boring as bad shit. Basically, the boys and the people, that's a bit cruel now, they send me in some topic suggestions. We put them in a hat, we draw them. And the overall theme this time is Australia. Bit broad, but Australia. And I've got some topic suggestions already, which are fantastic, and we'll see how we go. We're not going to have the house detective lady. She's on holiday somewhere. I haven't heard back from quite a few people because they are on holiday. So, yeah, it was just a time. Why not? See how we go. So far, we got about 5 or 6 people. So I hope that, I know we will. We always have a ball. I do. It's surprisingly stressful. It shouldn't be, but it is. And Australia is a subject we all should be pretty knowledgeable on. So we don't know what the actual topic will be. It could be something like, the great cars of Australia. Not going to be that. No one suggested that, and I'm certainly not going to. Be a short list. No, it wouldn't be, actually. It's some great cars in Australia. It was a 3.5 litre V8. You reckon it was you reckon it was like in a Rover or something? Or a hotted up SD1 or something like that? It looked like it was in, I don't know. I go looking for these images and then I forget what they are. I should write them down. It's not important. It's the thought that counts. Bad carbs, good carbs. An illustration. Talking to someone at work today, you are what you eat, as they were piling a great big cream cake into their face. So, peeps, some feedback I've had from the Life of Brick. First of all, YouTube completely spat that video. It didn't feed it to anybody. I think about 500 views in the first week and almost no facings. I think they fed it to about not even 2,000 people, 3,000 people showed it to. Not even my own subscribers did they show it to. So, and Steve said that before. Steve got 20-something thousand subscribers. And some of his videos only get 5,000 faces. They don't even show it to your damn subscribers. So what are you supposed to do? So I did something on that video I've never done before. I put a promotion on it while it was still active. Mostly, if you ever put a promotion on a video, you wait till it's dead. You wait till it's stopped going anywhere, and it's been dead for a while. You stick a promotion on and see what happens. This time I didn't, because I could see this was going to be a dog. Something very weird has happened to it. It's now had over 2,000 views. But the facings that it's given you, the presentations that they've given me on the promotion so far, the promotion's only half run, over 30,000. I've never seen it before. And it's in steps. It goes off and then it stops. And it goes up, then it stops. And it goes up, then it stops. And the promotional facings you get off YouTube are absolutely worthless. As Steve has said to me, and I completely agree with him, they're worthless. Because, first of all, they water down your engagement statistics, because most of the people they've shown it to, click on it, they watch a couple of seconds of it and go, nah, and they're gone. Now, you get a view from that. They stay 20 or 30 seconds. But if they're gone, it takes the people who do stay. On this particular video, I was running an engagement of 37%, which is a little bit high for one of my videos, a bit up. Now it's down around 5, because all of these other ones have come on top and smashed that down. Not that it matters to anyone but me. This channel's not sponsored by anyone, it's sponsored by me, and I'm a tough sponsor. But certainly one day, some advertising agency is going to look at this channel and go, hey, we've got these really awesome shirts for really fat guys. This is our man. And that's when those views can make you some money. They'll never make you any money on YouTube. YouTube charge you way, or YouTube don't charge you, Google charge you way more than you ever earn in any views or anything. They know that. They're not stupid. Yeah. Camberfield bricks, hey, Brad? Yeah, look, there were, yeah, Rob's right. A lot of people shoot their videos in one take on a phone. Just talk. If you make a mistake, leave it in. You're human. Some of the, as Rob will tell you, some of the most amazing things that happens in our videos are unplanned. I wouldn't call them mistakes, but they're unplanned. And leaving mistakes in is, I think it can be cute. It depends on the mistake. You know, if you say a word you shouldn't say, then you can just beep it. Don't bother cutting it out, just beep it. You see these guys on YouTube, they overproduce their videos. Jump cut after jump cut after jump cut after jump cut. And it just gets boring after a while. One thing I've noticed lately, Rob, is it must be an effect they put in one of the editors, because they do this. Someone will be looking to camera, and it's not a dolly zoom. It's a real zoom. It goes step in, step in, step in, step out, step out, step out. And it does it backwards and forwards. And they must be able to drop an effect on the actual clip, and it just pulls it in and pulls it back, pulls it in, pulls it back. And once you see it, it's annoying. It wasn't annoying until I noticed it. And I've seen it on a couple of videos. I think I can't remember. I might have seen it on one of Adam's videos. And I definitely watched a guy in London talking to camera for probably 10 minutes. And I could see why they'd want to break it up, because it makes it a little less boring. But oh my God, it was, once you noticed it, it was just annoying. Yeah, it's like a, but it's a dunk, then a dunk, there's nothing smooth about it. It's instant. Got a bit of fun. They shouldn't be using those labels, people. Aren't we all neurodivergent? Isn't that what we are nowadays? Yeah, well, I saw it, Rob, and I thought, you know, what would be interesting if you could do an easy dolly zoom during a long talk to camera, where you just pull the background forward, or you push the background backwards, but you stayed where you were. Now that would be fun. That I might have a go at. I've done electronic dolly zoom once, but you do have to move the camera, and you have to plan ahead. You know, do things as you know. I'm not particularly good at. But yeah, if you were to able to, if you were to pull the camera in, where's my hand? Pull the camera in, pull the camera in, pull the camera in, push the camera out, push the camera out, push the camera out, and then put an inverse zoom on that in your editing, that should pull the background forwards and backwards, but you stay where you are if you set it right. I'll have a play. I've got one coming up. I went to go out to Lacey's Creek on the weekend to shoot some of that Goldfield. Walked out the door, it was 35 degrees. I went, holy shit, it's going to be 37 up at Lacey's Creek. Back in the air conditioning. It'll still be there. It's been there it's been nearly, over 100 years. What's another weekend? Yeah, look, DJI are amazing. They're just amazing. Everything they touch works. It's one of the Chinese brands that is absolutely linked to quality, and which means they can do it. You know, those DJI mics are absolutely brilliant. One of the few mics that will work with my 360 camera are those DJIs. I just haven't bought them yet because the mic on the damn camera works pretty well. And it's only if you're on a tripod and you're running back, you're running away or walking around with your hands free or whatever, then it's important. Yeah, Dallas. I'm a bit of a sook nowadays. It's a fairly decent climb in there. I think the closest I'm going to get my car is about 2 kilometres. And then I just want to walk in. I don't think there's anything to see, but I don't know that. I can't find any footage online of anyone getting up that far into that creek. Everyone's done the bottom bit. You can get drone shots or anything, but drones don't let you see through the canopy. And I've had a look with LiDAR, and I can see things that really look artificial up in areas where no cows ever roamed. I'll tell you that. This is like, a country like that. I'm going to learn this one day. Country like that. There's no cows ever walked in there. So, and there's little holes that look like, trenches, stretches on the LiDAR. So maybe I'd send Cam in, but he's not well. I don't want to do that. It's not worth it. It really isn't. I think it's going to be, on the ground, it's going to be a big nothing burger. Because it didn't last very long. That's the way it is. Yeah, I don't think there's any water in this creek. It's one of those walkie creeks. It really is. I don't know if anyone watched Gizmo's snakebite video this week. I thought it was fantastic. I do have a snakebite bandage in my first aid kit. I checked it. And it's not one of the Smarty Pants ones. So there's some at Chemist Warehouse. I'm going to get a couple. And I still have to check, having watched all that, I haven't checked the batteries in my EPIRB since I bought it. It's probably 5 years ago. I don't think they last that long, so could be time for a new EPIRB too, to make that. You're going to go to all these stupid places by yourself. You cannot be guaranteed that you're going to have cell coverage. That's the way it is. It's the way it is. Yeah, Brad, look, if you want to do this sort of stuff, an old computer's not the best thing, as you know. Yeah, I think Gizmo did a great job with that. Really, I watched it all. It's great. I like his new channel. Good on him. He's one of the people who've indicated he wants to do Twisted Visions again, so it should be fun, especially Australia. I mean, what a topic. Gizmo's as Australian as they come. He's as Australian as Lamingtons. Queenslanders, Lamingtons. Well, I think he's from Sydney, but anyway, that'll do. So there we go, peeps. We've had an interest. I started a bit early tonight because, I was here. I'm just thinking of your Ollie up there in that, with all that water coming down. I hope it's going to give you a bit of a miss. I remember being in Anarchy I can tell you when it was. It was 1990. We were in Anarchy and it really started raining. And they just came around knocking on the doors. We were staying in some cabins. And they said, look, if you want to leave, you probably should leave now because it's going to really get some water through here in the next 8-9 hours. And we were leaving the next morning anyway. So he said, yeah, that's fine. So we chucked our gear in the back of the car. We had a Range Rover at the time. Drove back out to Emerald. And we were driving through still water, but driving through probably, I'd say 600 mils of water for kilometres on those big flats outside Emerald. And I was listening on the radio, on the CB actually, and I was That's how long ago it was. And the Alpha Bridge was 20 meters underwater. Must have been an old bridge, but my God, 20 meters? That's a lot of water. We were talking last week, and I can't remember who it was. We were talking about the Bloomfield. I think it might have been you, Brad. We were talking about the Bloomfield River crossing. And I went back and looked, and we definitely drove across the causeway. However, I looked on Google Earth. There's a massive big concrete bridge there now. No sport at all. No sport at all. Yeah, I've chucked all my computer gear out downstairs, guys. Got a couple of power supplies that are flying around for emergencies. And so if you blow a power supply on the weekend, give me a buzz. Oh, I've probably got a few around here. I have this thing when I upgrade my computer, upgrade my power supply. I just can't throw the old power supply away. It's still working. It's just not big enough. But yeah, I should, because they're of no use, really. When I built this rig, it's a Ryzen 9 with 32 gigs of memory. And it was you and I. So mine it was up the windscreen, but it was getting there. The Bloomfield, the other one, the other river, the Mossman one, that river, that was deep when we went through it. It was fresh water, but it was deep. Yeah. Yeah, we got industrial bins here getting emptied once a week, so you can usually chuck a few things in that. It's crazy. So anyway, peeps, we're going to go out with a bit of Esther again tonight, of course. That was obviously the Filthy Animals on the way in with Black Betty. Okay, so what's the best? I like that version of Black Betty with the Daintree. That's it, the Daintree. Spider Bait, no question of it. I've heard the first one, which is from the 1930s, jazz one. Blues one. I've heard, obviously, the Ram Jam one, which is okay. But I do like the Spider Bait version. I really do. In a Corolla. Wow. Yeah, this isn't it, Ollie. Up in Ipswich, that's all black soil flats around Ipswich. And it will take water to a point, and then it just stops. And you walk on it, and it's just like walking in just sludge. So, mate, you can't drive on it. I don't think too many farmers will drive in a black soil paddock till it's dried out. You'd be digging your gear out. Yeah, peeps, time to go. Esther's coming up. Thank you all for coming tonight. See you, Mum. I'll give you a call tomorrow. Hire car, of course, mate. Hire car will cross any territory. Used to see him on the beach. Never buy a hire car. Night, everyone. Thank you all. And remember, Twisted Visions is Thursday night, 8 o'clock. Apart from that, the world really is wonderful. And you guys just keep rocking. Night all. T-Rox is out. You know the script.
Yeah, you know I got the answer, but you're not ready to know yet. And you try and you can raise it, 'cause you can't make it go away now. You can't drown it or keep running with both your eyes underwater. When it's running, you can raise it. It's time to look in the mirror. What you used to do ain't working, but it echoes loud. Armageddon's on the horizon, and it won't leave you alone. You can run beating others when you need to be seen. And if it took you away, 'cause you can't give the milk away. Yeah, you think you're so good and honest. Why don't you peek under the covers of the one you can answer? 'Cause you know I got the answer, but you're not ready to know yet. Baby, try and you can raise it, 'cause you can't make it go can have what you want, it's easy. You feel a sign to stop it.